everyone. Welcome to a year Dr. Ren, a year TV on YouTube, and also a year Dr. Ren on Facebook. Yes, another day is here again. Maybe a year political education, no, maybe bro. All the news making the headlines, and I'm a day Ebabe Sumo. And today we'll look at a year the story about Bontini, the Chief Justice, Araba Torkornoo. Or the Assembly Tuja. We will discuss about it. And also, you share about Ibrahim Mahama. Assembly Fanoa Pia Bontini, MPP for ye jandam bi wɔ ho. Ye de ne nyinaa bɛto akwam. Kama ibedim komo ende eti ebusia bi a wo bia no. When you come on my page, kindly share, say something, and let me acknowledge your presence. What I say hello to me, say hi, say hello, say hi. Na yemko ye nimni enshia de Rita Nagala wa say ye bedin komo. Yes, me mo akwaba. Ladies and gentlemen, ma mo hwe mo TV YouTube so no me ma mo nyina mo akwaba. Say hi, say hi. Na mentimi acknowledge your presence wa say because munti anamete. Munti anamete ha. Abigail, how are you? How are you and the hobby and then the family? Omunyina what to saying. Zongo Native, also say hi. Zongo Native Michiao. Mohammed Nuruddin Michiamo. Busiamun Shenko all the platforms so na eja union so mama shebi kama. And come on. Starting off the Igbo King no assembly after so His Excellency John Mahama the last 4 appointment deputy appointees no wa appoint or more me do mu din ebetu dwa de ama ye nyina. So ladies and gentlemen, the creme de la creme I be the common government wa the creme de la creme no the editorial no prosper. Yes sir, I agree to you. And komo kesiye bi wo the Chief Justice Araba Lawless Torkornoo eno adumasa mi wakwa o say ene Ghana o demanded $10 million wo mo. Oh yes, the Chief Justice at the Ghana court the ECOWAS court na court no in some way wo no enyina ne say Oji $10 million if Ghana for UK for USA for Europe for amudi euro no so oji $10 million if mo Araba Lawless Torkornoo. Are you going to pay that money? Oh you wa eno na editorial no nti eno no ye betu ye bo ase na ye domu asuko na ye di ho nkomo kama ena honorable Amakofi Buah wo se hwe galamsey fight no wonjai o ino adumasa wo say she is crazy apu hwe wo jisika wo say apu friend is saying honorable Amakofi Buah Emmanuel Amakofi Buah wo de asem bia ba betudwa o se Ghana fo no a omo ye galamsey no ono semusimunda ono sonda se akora wo mane mamenda ne bento ampane to da Amakofi Buah honorable Elembele MP minister for lands and natural resources o makoche nkofo bi gidi yesi Rambo style honorable to no ho a wo che nkofo ani hey amafo ani abrio His Excellency John Mahama Samin Kanchire mo say ene uye Ghana ni na ot Ghana na wotis will be to galamsey o tutu amena na amena na ye donko ana eson na ye ode hwehwe sika ye frɛ bibi whistle blower aha me papa those days obefia na obeye action no pese ye be hu so obefia na wo frɛ me mama say no the sweetheart asoso iti enei His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, if you're a whistleblower, now will blow on people on your galamsey, ye chi wo mu a good year no, the 10% ebema. It is ejumanaba. Boys, ejumanaba. Oni na mfichire unya tisu bi bobo fom kwanyan no a cheneko. Rashid Mimwakwaba. Ni manchemicha. Nobu, my sister is also here. Ebusiafo medie mafo nyina apokenue yawole kpale akola che. That is a nice name. Michiao Nuruddin Smehunwa. No Zongo natives mumfa video no kwa bontene na na ebedi nkomo pa. Papa wey na semwa ba my Igbo king settings. Na settings. Business. This man is business. Business. They love me dearly. Business. This man or the asemaba. And in Tigana for say, woman paying for say, woman asem asem no de aba na chese enye easy. Or say the press release by the God Traditional Council. The God Traditional Council has observed with dismay recent happenings in the Gas state surrounding an Igbo king. This my camp people, surrounding an Igbo king, by name Eze Dr. Chukwudi Jude. In Ehenetu, who Ehenetu, why 9 Obi a 9 ye. Who has accorded himself king of the Igbos in Ghana. At an emergency meeting held at the Ghana Traditional Council on the 9th day of July 2025, presided over by the President King Takite Kutru II, Gamanche, and all members, the understated were resolved unanimously. The Ghana Traditional Council disassociates itself from all activities of the said Eze Dr. Chukwudi Jude. And indeed, we free a year, the Ghana Traditional Council. Number 2, almost say the council has never recognized anybody or person as a king of Igbos within the Ghana state. Number 3, recognition of persons and their induction at the Ghana Traditional Council has always been conditional upon entry of one's name in the National Register of Chiefs. The Ghana Traditional Council is a creation of a statue for Dr. Chukwudi Jude, and he too should henceforth cease and desist from holding himself out as a king of the Igbos in the Ghana state by way of performing any traditional activities. 5, all assigned paramount and divisional chiefs installed by Eze Dr. Chukwudi Ahinetu should also henceforth cease and desist from holding themselves out as such within the Ghana state. 6, all traditional and cultural festivals under the guise of importing Igbo culture presided over by Eze Dr. Chukwudi Jude Ehinatu in his capacity as king of the Igbos in the Ghana state should cease forthwith. In conclusion, the Ghana Traditional Council wishes to assure the entire general public that we Ghanaians are a peaceful people and welcome all tribes, communities, and people of other nations into the Ghana state on condition that they respect the Ghana traditions and customs or customs. Any persons who disrespect these directives with intent to disrupt the peace of the Ghana state shall mandatory be dealt with by law. Our goodwill and respect for other tribes and people of other nations should not be taken for granted. Signed, Evelyn Amawuche, Registrar for President, Ghana Traditional Council. To all media house. And I'm there Asemi houses, and I'm there Asemi Abreu. Abusia, This is what the Ga traditional chiefs akasa. Asɛm called the no. And I ja metia a year Kentucky Terrier. Metia and now say manche. Oh, people have been talking about it, but they have not really, they are briefing him on it. So he doesn't want to comment. And as soon as he got the information, he quickly called an emergency meeting. And then they the power of Dr. Ren Media, Dr. Ren TV. Simple and titi. O kan wo be yo, o kan wo be ye. Ye kan wa ha. Ye de ma wo mo a no madi so. Simple. Easy dey ehunu Igbo. Eye friend say Chukwudi, no friend ho Igbo king na. Fa ne ko ye be chi ye chi wa, ye chi na ye be twe na so. Emra ne bedi. Case close. Said ye mo pe no. Ana ye ya mamo. Ana me boa. De ye pe ni ayama e. Ora Dixon michia. We SON free or Dick Michia, Dick Jan Michia. Philida man from Mwakwa, but they should tell us if acres of lands have been sold to this person. We want to know. Yes, and then some call it the Minister for Interior to summon the so-called Igbo chief. Na onko chere baby a oto assassin, nipa oto assassin or no pepe. I don't understand what is happening because these Igbo people have been celebrating their festivals over the years in Accra. What is the difference now? So the difference, then they say, say, Papa ne say, obi sini ho, ohene wo krum ho. Now what say nya sub chiefs wana say. Now face when nya the dominance. No as wa bomodian we sini palace, no we sini kingdom. This is what a cost. So the point here about the intent of forming the kingdom. That is where it goes against the Ghana traditional council laws. Into the traditional council law, no. Apart from say we are citizen, or a history, it me see adie no. Untimi free baby, embassy won hene, safo hene, and some benya sub chiefs ewo omanim. That is where the bone of and 70 ejina. Not because Ghanaians are against Nigeria but the intent of this particular Eze, Igbo, Chukudi. First, no, you tuntum and wabomodi enya pokle ama skin color no assessor. Mami Araba France mbakwa say I blame his Ghanaian wife. Na Ura Henry Hansen Michiao. Edmond Mwakwa Zongo native was Dr. Ren. Is the Centio oil refinery in Ghana owned by the Chinese or is the face of the company owned by MPP politician? Can you use your network to research on this? All right, I'll do that. But I know, say, the Centio oil refinery, no. The Chinese people in partnership with some Ghanaian MPP for our DNA. That one is a fact. What I say, I will just go into the nitty-gritty because I'm prepared for that topic for today. But remember, Centio oil no a refinery no. When we had a friend saying Tema oil refinery, but the government decided say that some of the MPP members will partner with some foreign entities to go into refinery a friend and sense. Now, yem free war na kwale tete. So my guns, we have spoken. Where eta. That's all simple. If you know call Namabontino friend who Igbo king. No to champ for you know the year 419 ha you betching up to. And one no. Yem koyeni. Honorable Amakofi Buah wadane no Jackie Chan. When the namunrim no chichin call for. No, and inti assembly abeto jama me fa no quickly. Ora Steven Memfa Emma Ghana for a man for so na NDC by no galamsey no the fight no more year they are not fighting galamsey. Yes, why doing a year why doing a year sir ultimate why doing so and they ama Kofi Buah honorable muko pie mu wo nwure mu ho woni the tax force for na de omkoye ni say okodane ne ho Jackie Chan Amaboa Jackie Chan. And then Amaboa wadane Jackie Chan. Only wadane Jackie Chan. I say, who she? Wadane Jackie Chan. Newly built illegal mining structures in Tano Offing Forest Reserve destroyed by the police anti-Galamsey task force. One excavator seized by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. The minister on that. Aye wild. Sisi Kradi, John Mahama say, Uchi ubi a whistleblower. Uchefa wo. Tumumi enye adwuma. What you say? Baby bia be hunu bia say your hini you say your wan you. Just blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. No ani ekwaye nim na ye chichi wo mo na ye de wo mo ko na ye gigi ye gold na sami gemfi gold board no na ye nya sika wom na ye panishing kofo na ye de sika ni bi siesie nsase no na ye de bi dua emme na ye de bi dua friends koko na ye kwaye nim na ye build Ghana no a. Me wasting much time on this story because it's a success story. The fight on Galamsey ekoso den. Now yanko quickly womo a yafa womo as the new deputy ministers. My main fire no so nkyeremwe la ayilala John Dramani Mahama. Ebusia muhu dia yenko yanim. I like the way NDC is fighting the Galamsey pa undercover operation. Yes, undercover because who could blow whistle no ye wonko fobi wo wa be blow no makwa akodi kokonsa. So this is your new deputy ministers. Your new deputy ministers. This is Omuni. So the new deputy ministers, no more any womo ewa hase new deputy ministers. Womo ana ejamede atutu hodi amauno. So yes, our new deputy ministers, mamebo womu di mfama ebusianfo amoa ha enten wa na yemkoyanim. So we have a year Ministry of Transport, Dorcas Afu Toffee, a year MP for Jomro, one year Deputy Minister for Air Transport, a year Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a year James, a year Quasim, one a year Deputy Minister for a year Foreign Affairs, and a year Deputy Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, a year Mohammed Adam, and also and a Deputy Minister for a year Health. Grace Anyensu Dankwa John Dramani Mahama Osimon Konko ye adwuma ye hwe se omkopie parliamenta na aja omo nyina no ye befa wo mo kama kwa yes so operation no operation Hana BC kwaye no yes in conjunction with the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources the police, the armed forces. DNA o machichechiche wo mu operation na omo ye no de win election no sa na omo ye nti we kwa na we asiwe echi na we asiwe echi nti gbo hunu se bebi ahana bi si koye na we free wo no o de mentimi kan sem nyina because kokuo mu nsem gbo hunu na we su akwakoto ahya na wato ahya nti na we wadwene se wu unam friend is Western North we Galamsey no wadwene se obi enu ho na hana bi si we pie wo gbo hunu Ashanti region gbo hunu na Amaboa ewo ho obeti wani no na a friend is saying environmental minister no so nemu so a collaborative effort in fighting Galamsey and we must all help because we are all involved in building Ghana. So my sister finally my sister Afu Toffee finally a friend is saying or call a ministry of a year transport. I am happy. Ghana be funding to my papa Ephraim. One love. Yebekoyeni. Rastuke Michia. Zongo native. I say good. Side note. We make noise about Tor, but Centio refinery at high capacity than Tor. It's about time the citizens head big corporations in the country as we don't get the chance elsewhere. That is gospel truth. Yes. I wish I was in Ghana to do whistleblowing so I can get the 10% of the loot as promised by Mr. President. Blow your whistle. Blow your whistle. And you blow your whistle. Blow your whistle. Any question? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me take a sip of my orange juice. Why? na yɛndwetwe nkɔmmɔ Malik Basentali wɔne nam ɛna ɔbɔ mmɔden sɛ ɔne UK company bi sign contract na ya supply Ghana banana ne orange juice ne pineapple eti yɛmmɔ mpae ma no sɛ abranteɛ no deɛ wɔyɛ no ɛbɛbɛm sɛnea farmers ne dua pineapple no a ɛne banana ne ankaa no a na ɛgya UK companies no already no wɔn ahyɛ ase bia na wɔn yɛ aban dada ne time ne nyinaa but this time no they want to go into big time nti yɛmmɔ mpae ma no sɛ company no biribi abɛkɔkɔyɛ na biribi atɔ yi ɛno yɛ kukuo mu asɛm but I felt say I had to share now IMF and the assembly to dwa meko editorial nim we no the prapra kwam IMF the assembly to dwa na IMF fo ho em wanwa kakra IMF fo said reduce interventions in the forest market IMF to Bank of Ghana ebusia sam assembly ameka kirewe enie me ya na me the story no the amount kama IMF asema wo maka no unfollow me on YouTube, but more than subscribe. Na edin common more ewa. Edia na IMF eka. I mean take story ni bi. Reduce interventions in the forex market. IMF to Bank of Ghana. So the IMF can nyina said the abrofo ne kan nyina said Eva adomi hu watch it saying. Sorry me tell one catch wa. Me watch that's the minimum in person. Anyway, so IMF for say Bank of Ghana in reducing interventions in the forest market. Again, IMF for person maka. The TAT in say IMF is not happy. Yes, IMF is not happy. IMF is not happy. Say any to forcing Minister of Finance. Any a friend said governor. Esiema en hyehyɛ a ɔmode to akwan mu ema sidi n'enya ahoɔden no IMF sɛ ɛyɛ ɔmuntwa so ɔmoma nneɛma nya ɔmoma nya nneɛma bia basabasa sɛnea dollar no benya ahoɔden asen cedis no. So in essence they are saying that we should allow the dollar to rise against the cedis. This is what IMF is saying. Sir Marx, say the government should not listen to IMF. They are bleeding now. Yes. IMF want to guard the government on efforts to liberate the country's dependency on them. No matter what they do, we shall be liberated. Abigail. Nice one. So you see, Abi asamu wakai. Atu forcing is forcing the dollar. And they atu force na so dollar ne kon. And wo mia na IMF say only the 9 free account. And at two forcing any minister a governor Bank of Ghana a so dollar no kon omu mianya dollar no kon pounds so sa euro so sa oma so yen no kon mia Canadian dollar, they might put suppose. At two force in there, he said they were Canadian dollar, no put suppose. American dollar put the issue, not Canada dollar, Canadian dollar. And the IMF said they are not happy. So the white people are saying, say, in essence, they are saying, say, we should allow the dollar to rise. This is what they are telling us. Ladies and gentlemen, Abai Papa, like our sister Abigail said, we will liberate ourselves from the shackles of these kind of neocons. Then they want to detect. Shebre. Yempeni. Eva Dom Osidibia was sharing oba late and oba class and oba classes in them. Thanks, Eva. Now, yem free one yem call the other story muna. A friend say Kufu Adomo the most expensive pit. A year Henry Hans or say the dollar is king. Aye. or your hen and yes, you're better to be Ora Christopher Donko or say hi. National Cathedral Board, Ebuofu. National Cathedral Board, Ebuofu. Carol Green, how are you? Now, National Cathedral Board of Ebuofu, and there are some who say they resist any plans to convert the project into a national cultural convention center, insisting, say, the cathedral project has not been abandoned. Oh, Lord have mercy. Sometimes, if I was the president, by now, board of food in a so makugun sound. Men that down. It's even some funny. What kind of nonsense is this? Say, one dear, you see, the National Cathedral no. Our man Timiensi, a Jan Torkornoo, as a breeding mosquito. One more Timantimo, none of Papa Bika say, one material more Estamaquaba. One more Timantimo, say, a dear son, Tontomono, one more coy meeting, no more twapity. And our potro did that 1 year woman, according to the National Cathedral Board. One say, one dear. And they send a tea behind. Oh my, you say, Ora go fi mo akwa. Omo di omo say, omo abandon a friend say, yen National Cathedral no. And it is send a tea behind. Omo ye den ya, omo be den, omo be to aso aye adwuma. Oh, Rabbi, no, see, people are still living in the past too. People are still living in the past too. And they said the MPP for no, omu Lucy, esun omu hodai. Now, my memfa National Cathedral Board, no, my memfa to hamam. Oh dear. No. Omo ya cross, omo yonko for free board no. Do who be a cross n'anima omo free board nso omo ya cross omo anim omo free board nso enti wa obusa bia sister Abigail any mambo omudi Apostle Professor Opoku Nyina oka board no chairman of the Church of Pentecost Archbishop Palmer Buckle wono ewo the friend is saying Metropolitan Catholic Bishop Archbishop Cape Coast and yewo a friend say Reverend Bishop Justice Ofe and yewo enyansafue mu Professor Emmanuel Mante and yewo a friend say Reverend Victor Kusibuatin papa na ne din and the date of birth ne maame mienu ne papa no mienu ono angasa ye mienu no ono so wo so and a friend is saying Reverend Dr. Joyce I enso ka ho a friend is Moses Reverend TK a friend saying awuwi din mu edu kakra onfa ncheme na friend say Mensa Otabel Dagi Ward Mills Eastwood Anaba Bishop a friend is Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams any a friend is saying Professor Cephas omu nyina de omo free board ne so ti kakra ya ake omo na omo da so omo board ne so ti na ne ensemo free National Cathedral no eho na me de ebu nsem no de abrewo kama ai ti omo wo board ne so no ana me de omo din nyina de atodwa de ama. Ladies and gentlemen, yanko ya sem no the creme de la creme. Me wo ba ko bi wo ho na me hwe se ye de no time wo mu a ye be discuss ho eno so ho komo. Now yanko Chief Justice Nakachi ewo suspended Chief Justice Araba Lawless Gertrude Torkornoo. Get rude. She is indeed a rude person. Or a very, very rude. And Gertrude Torkornoo at the assembly atudwa I think say enra me bobo so kakra e ma ye nyina yete. But then no ye be cost story nim na ye nyina yakenkan. So I want you to stay with me. If you've not subscribed my YouTube, kindly do so. Follow me so on Facebook at Dr. Ren, follow me. Now, 10 million revocation of suspension. Details of Chief Justice Torkornoo a year ECOWAS court suit against government. The Chief Justice, the woman who was preparing the meal for all of us to eat, no, with giant Diana no Dwane, and ordinary Chere Abuja, Nigeria. Adenya or say Ghana for a unfairly into or G Sika 10 million US dollars. Araba lawless get rude. She keeps getting rude to the nation Ghana. Mamenkin kain 7 moon kakran na ejamin kum na memfa and 7 nyina ma. According to Chief Justice Ninsem no eni. Or say ni removal no or no susu say fairness president ni ye. Or no nsem a we implying. Nsem no de bebre and a waka. So let's go into the reliefs. The court in Semnoa, what they call dying. ECOWAS for. So Omombuano, no, with Johnny Free, the chief, the Supreme Court, no what is no, anyone did the Supreme Court in DBM, when Ghana for no Ankasa court, no what is no, less than 7 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, she was our Chief Justice, and in the same court, no what is no, for years, no, she doesn't trust her own court. Or the Supreme Court. Or sounds the Assembly the High Court. Ninina no echino we Johnny dia call alatame. And yesterday I shared with you the intent behind all these. I told you the intention of the MPP and Araba lawless get rude. The umbeso one way. Now Yanko reliefs 1. A declaration that the suspension of the applicant, Justice Gertrude Araba Saki Torkornoo, as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana by the President of the respondent state on 22nd April 2025, violated the applicant's human right to a fair hearing guaranteed by Article 7 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Number 2, a declaration that the panel is instituted by the respondent Ghana to investigate and determine the allegations of misconduct against the applicant was not constituted to guarantee its independence and impartiality and as such has violated the applicant's human right to a fair hearing guaranteed by Article 7 of the African Charter of Human Rights and People's Rights. So he's playing the human rights card. 4. Saying Tien. Mohammed Nuruddin. Hey, bro. Hey, what was he? Was he Ghana? No, a declaration that the purported suspension of the applicant as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana by the President of the respondent state on 22nd April 2025 has exposed her to a public ridicule and odium locally and internationally, and that the said act constitutes a violation of her human rights to dignity guaranteed by Article 5 of the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights. 5. A declaration that by subjecting the applicant to an illegal and unfair investigation and trial since April 2025, the respondent, Araba lawless Torkornoo pa, mameno cancer move. But anyway, you try and answer now all canos. Yentuas. So Yankum was see a declaration that by subjecting the applicant to an illegal, wow, minim said will be a petition precedent Article 146 mahon kwano. Minim say illegal. Minim say unfair, according to Gertrude lawless Torkornoo. An unfair investigation and trial since April 2025, the respondent has inflicted injuries, oh my dear God, on her professional standing and image, thereby exposing her and her family to immeasurable public ridicule. This is what Araba lawless Eka. Number 6. An order to the respondent republic to act immediately to prescribe the rules of procedure to govern the investigations of allegations of misconduct against the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana in conformity with the right to a fair hearing guaranteed by the constitutions of Ghana and the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights. 7. An order directing the respondent to lift the suspension immediately and restore the applicant to full office until the conclusion of fair constitutional proceedings. My goodness. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm into us now. Assembly I can make come. And for the cameras, and for the hearing. An order restraining the respondent from continuing with the purported inquiry for the removal of the applicant as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana in its current form until it conforms to fair hearing guarantees. 9. An order. 9. An award of 10 million US dollars as compensation for moral and reputational damages suffered by the applicant as a result of her illegal suspension and unfair investigations. 10. Any other reliefs as the Honorable Court deems just. Now let me repeat the relief number 9. Na Ghana ni awutie metie ni ye. An award of 10 million US dollars as compensation for moral and reputational damages suffered by the applicant as a result of her illegal suspension and unfair investigations. Ooh. My goodness. My goodness. She wants 10 million US dollars in a space of 2 months, who demanded $10 million because according to her, Ghana for damaging moral and what? Reputation. So she needs $10 million as a reward. Who is going to pay these monies? Who will pay these monies? That is a question. The taxpayers' money. So we need a same way. So you see, all along, I thought this woman a decent woman until she played these cards. So all along, the you need for the money, not to set the law no right. I'm not saying say Men pesicao. No. But the intention behind that. And they are very, very sad. Especially why judge for years. No Ababaye, a chief justice for years. We need to go and investigate the cases are wedi. And kofo enam no so a omako jeo and I said ya finding one more metua sikebi. We need to go and study. Because clearly law is common sense backed by facts. So I keep telling people, when laws are created, the conscience of a man comes alive. The conscience of a woman comes alive. What is the law saying? Article 1.4 says. So we'll be petition or mampenyi or teso effort Chief Justice one. It are outlining the steps that the president also take. And today, those steps has been followed by John Dramani Mahama. I'm not sure, say John Mahama was a Samara Ghana Merebi. It's the same law and operating. So what has changed? Lawless get through Torkornoo. What has changed? She has no integrity. Exactly. I say. What sika. 10 million US, wanka 1 million impo, wanka 500,000, wanka 100,000. She is demanding 10 million US dollars. Abba. I will see her. Let's even just say it's a Ghana for form, which is wrong, which is not the truth, which is not based on any fact. Look at the amount of money she is mentioning. That's her dream money. If I get this amount of money, I can go on holidays with my husband and children and spend life big and huge. This is what is happening. So you see the Chief Justice all along was what? A wolf in sheep clothing. I always thank Ghanaians who went to the polls and voted against the MPP. May God bless you all. Amen. You see, election I got to 2024. No. Sankiankwanko twabane in GMPP. We will not know, say, Mamia or Chief Justice no, all along was an enemy to her own laws. Was an enemy to our nation and what we stand for. Snakes living in human forms. That is true. You see, what if NPP won this election? My God. My goodness. There will not be any democracy. I'm telling you. And thank God, John Mahama saw it and advised Ghanaians, soldiers, and I advised the entire nation, nobody should take up arms and overthrow the government. Because people in armed forces were fed up of Ekufuado's government. They were fed up of the corruption. Resetting the nation, we must start with the law. When you reset the law and you give it a standard, all other things shall follow. Rashid, and that is what John Mahama and his people are doing. After stealing and sharing Ghana's money, they still want more. That is it, Chiti Chata. That is what they want. They want more. Zongo Native, they want more. They see Ghanaians as if say, So they are asking for more Oliver Twist. How come just 8 months ago, everything was fine with the law? The law is the law, was fine 8 months ago. 9 months ago, everything was fine. But today, Araba lawless, get rude, is saying that the law is not fine. I am in danger. Meanwhile, she has police protection 24 hours. I've not heard IGP coming out to say, Araba lawless has complained. Seidu, I say former Chief Justice was appointed just for MPP. Yes. All these things I won't make it, all these allegations I won't make it, you know. What to say, what call report our police station say, and kofobi tatano. She knows the law. Why is she not following the protocol? Because I'm a Tigana. Now, I see my life is in danger. Where would I go first? Which place is the first point of contact? The first point of contact. Yeah, the police station. I'm say, my life is at danger and I need help and protection. And I'm a boy. But here is a woman who superintended over the laws of the nation and knows best. And she even has a friend saying 24-hour security protection by the state. But this woman is telling us that her life is in danger when she has not even reported at Madina police station or Legon police station or Cantonment police station. Ima, she wants $10 million US. Felida Manfo, the Chief Justice, now Kwale, wants $10 million from you ladies and men. Now you are watching me. Musikano, open 10 million. Tower 10 million. Or pesika. Ole konde 10 million. Muna announce Chief Justice Kina or pesika. Kudi. L'argent. Kwacha. Or pay $10 million. Say, ye treating unfair. Her life is in danger. This, that. And so what me nya kwenya ebe ye pressure. Edi nkomo. Eso na no say. Omumfa ncheme. La ayilala. What a shock. My goodness. Hey. Is it the Kwame Nkrumah Ghana? A Chief Justice who cannot trust her own bench. A Chief Justice who cannot return to her own court. Where is she running to? And you see, sometimes they will come and tell Ghanaians matters of law. Some people, you kumwomo, and they stood for. You see, sometimes we need to tell our people the gospel truth about some of these people. It's all about Kudi. It was for the Kudi. It was for the kwacha. It was for the pound sterling. It was for the dollar. We calculated the way at my the dollar number for no. Was it Charlie? We call for $5 million. And sikane swati. You see, don't mama mono. I am for cry complaining so go because some mama Sydney and why then do you see me $10 million Araba lawless, look at my face, my D sexy face, my D ren face. Aha butolo. aha butolo. Ye ma wo kobo, ye ma wo naira, ye ma wo pesoa. Okune ezukakpele. Okune ezukakpele. Ye mani kobo, ye mani naira, ye mani shishi. Obebe fie besa pamono ora Alfred ngaboy. Akufo-Addo appointed this Chief Justice. Gertrude Lawless Torkornoo. Ahabo shishi ye mawe. Can you imagine? What a shock. You see, her actions clearly, actually, even Ghana for any nimu GDABM, her own judges cry any nimu GDABM. Because they work with why no trying be I say precon I say nentwinam I say why no trying be I say denchem nambi I why no trying say denchemechi I so person edi no edi no oje Raben. Shilling po ena shilling po ena. Thank you, Sister Fair. Emmanuel, thank you for answering Alfred. Hey, she will get that money after 2050. Say what say. She took her court to ECOWAS. Means she doesn't follow the rules. Yes, she took her own court. Her own court. Hey. She took her own court to ECOWAS, bypassing the domestic process she once swore to uphold. The domestic process that she once upon a time took an oath to uphold, and defend the good name, she has bypassed that process and also International Court of Law. Diabolical woman. You see, this has really exposed the institutional rot John Mahama has been talking about. When you said the way you know, now dunia say oh play smart. But the way you know, ne two daddy pefe. Ne two daddy pefe mo be say look, the John Mahama the institutional rot now all can. Because if you as a Chief Justice, you cannot trust your own court, the Supreme Court. Now what Janiako ECOWAS Court, they are walking in and say, Ampa, there is something wrong with our judicial system, and I don't trust it. It means here ECOWAS. Because I would trust the court system, you will not run to an international court. She is confirming what John Mahama has been saying. Said the court needs reset. But Obeka said, Debbie, so we are not done. Trying said then Chemechi. No, Janeko Supreme Court, ECOWAS Court. This is a national embarrassment and a dangerous precedent. But you see, enyame wawa. Wana na waye. Akufo-Addo na ye. Akufo-Addo's family, sana omutie. The JB and Buzi Amono. They be amo pegana and mguasie. Yora wadada, mete unkache, apume. Omu pe Ghana and mguasie, to omu drimika, court, International Court of Law. Yemkugu yeni muasi woho. The air and san canti, even if you earn 100,000 a year in the Western countries, over 30 years of your working life, you will still won't accumulate close to 5 million US dollars. Are Ghanaians earning this kind of money as she is seeking? It's like, if our own Chief Justice does not trust Ghana's court, what hope is left for the rest of us? That's a question. If our own Chief Justice, just 7 months ago, the law is the law, does not trust our judicial service, does not trust our courts. Now, question I'm able to say, what hope is left for you and I? Now you understand why Professor Frimpong can say the damage caused by a Kufuado will not take less than 25 years just to fix the foundation, according to Professor Frimpong. My own brother, chartered economist, Bernard Odrotechi, say it will take us 50 years fixing the foundation and setting the structures, because the damage, even in the Galamsey sector, the damage alone, lands and water bodies destroyed. When you go to the judicial sector, you are destroyed near my baby. Laws were not working. Supreme Court, NDC, EC Court, Adukwe Mensambet Doc, Nimniabusebusan question. They said no. Too much rot in the system. Too much. Why does she feel so entitled? Our friend is asking a question. And that is the life of the MPP. They always feel entitled. So today, our Chief Justice suspended. Henry Hansen, I can't fix it. You have to. You can. Yes, you can. Don't run away. The chef has finally run away from her own food. Like I said yesterday, Chief Justice is now running away from her own court. How come? A chef that you've prepared a meal, now you are running away from your own food. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the damage that these people MPP cause, and yet damage kitwa. The lotto forecaster, Araba Lawless, Gertrude Torkornoo, has finally run away and leave her paper behind, chasing the wild wind. Chasing when Chachuchi Kata was telling her, you have sown the wind and you will reap. They thought they were, social video no, they were laughing at Chachuchi Kata. He who laughed last, laughed best. And I guess I can. Abigail. Felida, says I can. And I'm aware. Zongo native, says I can. I'm not Chachuka asking, we no more sereno. Akokratina sena ho kasa dodo. And here brofuni abebu na abebu ye. And today, what are they sowing? What are they reaping rather? They're reaping what they sow. And this is a prophetic message that Chachu gave us years ago. So now the farmer has finally run away from her own farm produce. Araba, wara kofaba, chomwe. And I need them no can. Man can hear one can chemo as a. You see, young Kofu, they never learn MPP for, and they will never learn. And I'm not surprised. What is going on? No, I'm not surprised. Because I know. So a time is coming. Sa subanya wamaye. Eyadea. Omunjai. And I know. And today, ladies and gentlemen, my member I'm free on the last conversation. I think it's the last conversation. The time in tea. Maybe I'm the best shot that came no chinano. Medjum kama. Efa a friend is a dear way. I think so. Let me see some who Ibrahim Mahama. Yes, Ibrahim Mahama no one bansem bebre. I think say sound common. But anyway, mehe say if Ibrahim Mahama and Kofua Kasem bebre. The government of Ghana, any Ibrahim Mahama, any Nansing Ezenbang, $100 million via Akumo Musbusia, any engineers and planners, Omenya Honkrata, a letter from the minerals of commission to acquire the mine. The Azuma Volta, See, let's study the MPP very well. Yes. I'm telling you guys. The mindset of the MPP is say they will never make any Ghanaian prosper. That is the concept of the MPP. And I'll give you the fact. When Kwame Nkrumah now a president, from 66, Nkrumah was building local millionaires at the time. The Tata Breweries, the Pualugu, the corn beef, the textiles industries. These were Ghanaian manufacturing companies. These were Ghanaian companies. So obviously, if these Ghanaian companies owned 100% by Ghanaians, it means that Ghanaians were becoming richer. True? We agree, right? Good. And that was the reason why at the time, Ghanaians were able to spread across the continent of Africa to be able to set up other businesses here and there, to make sure that other people's economy will also grow. Now, after the 66 coup, what happened? Buzia and Co came, they took over Ghanaian-owned businesses. And then they did what? Sold it among themselves. Divestiture. Government companies, they sold it among themselves. Fast forward, Kufuor came, sold our, what's it called? I'm not saying other company, a friend is saying political parties like NDC and Sunyebu, but I'm trying to give you one particular conversation here. Stay with me, and you understand. Stay with me. Ufa Kufuor time, Ghana Telecom Koi. Fast forward, Atamels and John Mahama. These are two Nkrumahist, even though they belong to the NDC political party. But the ideology is Nkrumahist. It's more tilted to the Nkrumahist mindset. So they do what? They protect and they build. So again, John Mahama, when you go to the pharmaceutical industry, I have Ghana Fonka, but let me say it. Emrana pharmaceutical for sika, normal business egu, NS chemist money, Karma money, to be in business egu no. John Mahama injected capital, Ghana's money, and the ball woman bosia. So munji we na monfanto tumu meye. For 2 years, yen jimu interest free. From 2 years, aircon, Montuetua Sikani say copim time and wetia. Today, Tobinko, Tobinko because he got seed money from Ghana and the Buah. Time our mujina, omuya so mu build your mujina or monasono. Then a Kufuado. They came. What happened? The banking cleanup exercise. Collapsed Ghanaian indigenous banks. No foreign banks was affected. They collapsed indigenous banks. Ghanaian banks are building millionaires, building billionaires in cities. No, they collapse it. What does that tell you? It tells you they don't love the nation. They pretend, speak their big grammar, and you will think they say they love the nation. No. If you are building a nation and you cannot build billionaires in that country, then you are a joke. I'll give you an example. Dangote, Ofa a year obi to say, gifty, it is saying, Ofa Dangote, Ufa Dangote, Ofa obi to say, a year a friend is saying, good luck Jonathan mo, Obasanjo mo, they build Dangote. They build Dangote. Over a year, a friend is saying, Yara Duamua, they built Dangote, made him become a billionaire, supported him. That was what Atta Mills, John Mahama, and co were doing. They set up the Exim Bank to ensure, say, about Buah Ghana for indigenous Ghanaians to establish, become powerful, prosperous, and take the nation along. MPP by brought banking cleanup exercise, destroyed banks, indigenous banks, and Ghanaians started suffering. Fast forward, the same MPP Torkornoo, stay with me. We are going somewhere. The same MPP Torkornoo, from the banking sector, then they went into what? Making sure, say, Ghana for no businessmen. Woman so ejumano, yeah, the taxes. Eba to human so man, you ding, and you heard a friend is saying, Angel TV, the owner, Dr. Kwekwotin, complaining bitterly. You so happy what happened to Dr. Papa Kwesindu? Complaining. Kofi Amo have been complaining. Even their own darling boy, McDan, was even complaining. The last part, McDan said, NPP government came to destroy Ghanaian businesses. McDan. Gabi was upset. And that was the truth. Look at trade fair. Destroyed trade fair. Follow me. We are going somewhere with a conversation. What happened? Now you've collapsed the banking sector. You've collapsed Ghanaians, our businesses with a high taxes at 2 major. What are you doing? You are collapsing them, destroying the nation. More unemployment compared to John Dramani Mahama's time, when the unemployment was about 1.something million Ghanaians were looking for a job and no go to bed with no food in their belly. Under Kufuor, Ghana Statistical Department, it jumped from 1.5 to 8.something million. 8 million Ghanaians were going to bed with no food in their belly. Thankfully, the Ghanaian, what happened? The last straw. DDEP, Domestic Debt Exchange Program, pensioners' money, was taken away from them. This MPP, political party, the destroyers. When you build, they come, they destroy. When you build, they come, they destroy. They make the loudest noise when they are in opposition. Give it to me, give it to me. When you give it to them, it is said they are over a spoiled child. Just give it to the person who know a child plate no. That is the MPP for us. So clearly, They don't want us to build local businessmen that will be billionaires and carry the nation along. When you look at this Ibrahim Mahama and all these noise about a friend is saying, the story of Azuma, the lies must be exposed. Government of Ghana gave a lease to Azuma Resource Ghana Limited in respect of a gold concession in Upper West region in 1992. The company was owned by an Australian company in 1992. Government of Ghana under Jerry John Rawlings, called the multi-party democracy, and what this our concession, in Upper West. And the man, this Australian. Now, since 1992 till 2022, the company was unable to commence exploration activities on the land, contrary to the terms of the lease agreement. From 1992 to 2022, Womukra concession, exploration, and you may saw me Adanko Dada 1992 to 2022. The lapses of Ghana's mining sector. And that is why I thank my brother, Honorable Buah, for ideas for the president also believing in him to make him the minister of lands and natural resources, and having a young man like Sami Jemfi, a lawyer, policies, honorable the papa or the policy of friends and implementations, acquiring yan where be fast soon yama esi yedi shisha acquire no the need aba. Hey, the lioness, my says, how are you? Now, by 2022, the company was indebted to the Ghana Revenue Authority and Minerals Commissions in excess of over $5 million US. I'm giving you the nitty-gritty. So MP before no tiabont, they are making noise. I love my people, but they are making noise. And the truth must be told to them. And I keep telling MPP, their communication has become weaker and weaker and weaker. Close to 2 million plus. According to Gaye Kennedy. You shut up. You do your homework well. You repackage yourself. You do intro and recto inspection. Now what to tune you may bonina woman where you hear from now for what fanim dear for nyansa for more home sense and a year school sense. What can home boom no more department him no more monitor NDC. This particular time you should not be talking about the NDC simple because still Ghanaians still love them. And who fact MDC, no, it's not even just don't talk about them. And she said no more, papa. It as a political party of NPP in the crowd, and some Kimano too. Because the amount John Mahama and the NDC are doing it, bringing the city down. They are doing it. City appreciating prices of goods and services on the market. Now, no one to Sikadema, a friend said, Manasseh Azure, so on called the northern region. No, Mekase, and no more wedding, or call who send no more bone. So when I saw this particular, you may say, I've got the facts because I know these are things that some of us, yet now they know some of these mining sectors are. How many of you have not seen me go hard on Sam Jonah? I've got my call hard on Sam Jonah. And yet, because I used to play in Sam Jonah's house. My father and Sam Jonah went in the mining sector. When my father came out from the armed forces, and in 1984, Daily Graphic newspaper, Rollins called my father and his big brother, the coward in a military soldiers running away from their duties. That's in 1984. It be a beginning number Daily Graphic, no, and no Daily Graphic newspaper. I go hard on Sam Jonah because and you may be or here and then she be or here now. How am I Ghana? And when I started going hard on Sam Jonah, he came out to apologize. That is true. Oma let down the nation. And today, when you see Sam Jonah and Ibrahim Mahama, it's just that the mistakes are why, he's guiding Ibrahim Mahama not to repeat those mistakes. Because take it or leave it. Sam, Eko, Eson, Kwesi, Jonah, when it comes to mining, he's a guru. Not only here, in Australia, Canada, America, South Africa. He has earned his crown. Let me put it this way. But I saw certain things where a tear on my Ghana. Who say this young man, Ibrahim, engineers and planners, this is the vision. Let me guide this young man, help him, support him. As he lead the way, or he mistake, and Ibrahim Mahama being a smart guy. There's a road in Ghana constructed by Ibrahim in 1994, 95, or 96. There's one particular good road. So date, it was constructed by Ibrahim Mahama from 1994, 95. If Ghana want to build, we need to build our own billionaires. Where they fall short, we must say it. But that is the MPP for you. They don't want to build billionaires. They collapse billionaires. Look at the people who support to a political party from MPP. Billionaires, ni millionaires, they came, they collapsed most of their businesses. So by 2022, the company was indebted to the Ghana Revenue Authority and Minerals Commission in excess of over $5 million US. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority obtained a judgment in both the High Court and the Court of Appeal against the company and was going to sell the assets of the company. Now, Tiniwa, follow me. Come on here, the home. This will be time as soon. It's a semi to me, we sang come over to the wow. Tina me as anchor, watching a number treat. Timmy, we are now meant to us watching. Maybe some. See, I worked for a utility company in the Midwest America where they had a policy to buy made in America. Yes. Thank you for sharing, Zongo. Yen trust watch now. Yen fancy because what's hard no I understand. We issue a very important information. Tim fancy. What are you saying? What my family friends, community house for community compound for in your house. Fancy now watching. Watching now on the mattress. Watching right. Thursday and twice to Thursday. And twice to Thursday. Right. Hey, Monkari. I am a for me, Anna. Niyama Johnson, say continue, bro. Facebook for should I continue? Zongo, say continue. All right, okay. May continue then. We are may expose the lies of Bright Simmons and then the stooge. No, I will expose them. So let me continue. But I will just say up to about to number 1 or 2 things. Nathan Harrison. So let me continue. Main read here, but me born a ta. Noble say I should attend to family and continue tomorrow. All right. I'll do here with you till the end. Niyama Johnson, Christopher, also carry on. So because of the magnitude of this story and the way the MPP for greetings, Abna. How are you? Me born kakra tofa, and then I will just come tomorrow, and then we'll just delve deeper into this conversation. I will just put a phone line here. Carol Green. Now I'm more adventure, no my friend. What you say? Because I want us to do this together. Okay, I want us to do this together. Now, So from 1992, I've told you the story. Then later on, a friend is saying, Ghana Revenue Authority, now company in the car. Ghana Revenue Authority, the company in the court. A friend, the Court of Appeal and High Court. What happened? So now, what happened is that the Ghana Revenue Authority obtained a judgment. Judgment, no, eka say the assets of the company, the Australian company, no. Now the gold prices was low at the time, so and so the owners of the company wanted to sell what was left of the company, and for the new owner to deal with all the risk with the Ghana Revenue Authority, Minerals Commission, and failing gold prices. So in 2023, the shareholders approach engineers and planners, offering to sell the project to engineers and planners for 100 million US dollars. And engineers and planners accepted the offer and the risk, despite the value of the project being less than 80 million US dollars. Now, you may call the project acquisition. So, what do you have to understand is the project acquisition, and the developmental agreement, saying signed by who? The Azuma and EP in October 2023. They sat down, they signed all these agreement in 2023. Is the Otis MP before a year? What is the annoyance for? Under them in 2023. EP, any Azuma, a sign contract. So, where from this noise? Now, per the agreement, the entire 100 million was to be paid by June 2026. It is 100 million, I say, except by June 2026, I say, Ibrahim Mahama, Utuya, only engineers and planners, Etuya. But Omotumia Abenya Bosia from Ezen Bank, Etuya Sikano. Ama, Sikana Ezen Komutumi, Etuya in 2026. When you Sikantema, Oma Weninji. Now, I'll tell you why tomorrow. Why MPP don't want Ghanaians businesses to flourish. Why they don't want us to build billionaires and millionaires. I'll tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, I spent 1 hour, 22 minutes. Very long. Let's do this tomorrow. Why? Now to us. I've been say, question, when are we going to build a refinery mining? Any plans to put value on our raw gold? Yeah, there are plans. Honorable Emmanuel Amakofi Buah and the Gold Board, they have plans. I'll share with you guys. Tomorrow, one of the plans, I'll share with you guys. So I love you guys. So thank you for your time. Have a good night, have a good morning, good day, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching me from. I love you guys. So God bless our homeland Ghana, make our nation great and strong. Bold to defend forever and ever. See you soon, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you guys. So peace.